So as you may have heard in the other video, my first piece of music gear was the keyboard. And I knew very early on what I wanted my second piece of gear to be because I was absolutely flipped over the sound of electro funk and electro hip hop. And one of the signature parts of that sound was the 808 drum machine. And it wasn't just used by them. You'll actually hear it all over 80s music. So it ended up, of course, in electro funk, in electro hip hop, in Miami bass, in house music, in techno, but also a lot in pop music. So you'll hear it in Phil Collins songs. Whitney Houston used it. New Order used it. It shows up in all kinds of places. And how that came to be was that the Japanese company that put out the original 808, it was a big failure for them. And so it was discontinued, and a lot of cheap units ended up in the aftermarket. And that's where the hip hop people, and the house and techno people, basically people who were looking for cheap gear, started picking it up and incorporating it, and it became kind of a signature sound of the 80s, still very influential in hip hop to this day. So this is not the original 808. That original 808, like I said, limited run. They go for astronomical prices now. But several companies have put out emulations, and this is Behringer's emulation. It is called the RD-8, and I looked at a couple of different companies and what they had put out along these lines, and I ended up liking this one best. But how this works basically is it has drum banks with various drum sounds. So you've got your bass drum, got your snare, might have a tom, hand clap, the cowbell, a cymbal, and of course your open and closed hats. And then you choose which one of those drum effects you want, and you put it on the 16 steps here. You can extend those to 32, 48, or 64 steps also. And you can put several patterns together once you make patterns to make a longer song. So if you happen to put all of that together, you might get something like this, which is a little something I worked up. And I am just in love with this era's sound and this machine's sound. And I've incorporated it into a lot of music I've made. It's inspired a lot of music I've made. And I will continue to play around with this because it is just so much darn fun.